Hello everyone, it's Sparkle. I haven't done a video in a long time, and I thought I'd do this one. Now, this has been planned out. Unlike Rosie the Arctic Fox, this is my all-time favorite story, and I cannot wait to share it with you. I've been working really hard on this Google slide to get this set up. This is called Alpha Academy. It is a little mature, and I suggest it for mature players. It has some theme that is not very. It has some inappropriate things, but nothing inappropriate you can handle. There are no curse words, just fighting. Again, if you are too young for fighting, I suggest that you move on to a sweeter video of mine. But if you want to stay, then this is your lucky day. I'm gonna give you what you want. Alright, Alpha Academy. My hot cheek presses against the overgrown moss that grows beneath the stone surface of our broken down building. My sagging fur clings to it as I try to brush the stuff off. No avail. It always sticks to my fur. I sigh. There's a pool at the other end of the jungle. I can make it there. I look over at Mom. She is still sleeping on her moss. She looks very beautiful. Or, she once looked beautiful. Her moon crescent pelt is now shaggy and lopsided, and her moon patterns are all smudged. Her eyes only have the faintest of blue. She looks a lot like me, but I have to admit, I am not like her at all. We have the same thoughts, feelings. That doesn't mean I don't like her. I love her for everything she does for me, even if she's making delicious dishes for me. I will still love her. I look out on the table to see what's for breakfast. Nothing. Mom let nothing dry out last night. I sigh and push open the door, which falls open immediately as I do it. Code blue. Code blue. That's what I always say. Blue is my favorite color. I used to say that when I was younger, when the middle school students have arrived. There they were, looking as innocent and as menacing as usual, with headphones and backpacks, chewing gum. One spits a gum on the Zio statue and the others laugh. In case you haven't noticed, we live in a horrible section of Jamaa. The world is called Jamaa, but we are not allowed to experience Jamaa. We're barred off in this vast jungle. Vines stretches across the sky. We are considered not very smart, and something wrong with our brains. But the worst part is they let people see everything. And see us. Everything we do. It's heartbreaking to see one of us being tortured by those awful students, throwing bottles at us, or hanging out dolls of ourselves and cutting open their little throats. One of them did that to me, threw them in a fire pit she made, and said, "That's how you will end up." I have to confess, she was the one being pretty stupid. "Aren't they all?" my pretend voice would say to myself. Aren't they all pretty stupid? Yes, they are. They think we're stupid. I sigh. There has to be a way out of here. Every day I think that. Every day, nothing happens. I look out into the vast jungle path that looks like it could stretch on for eons. Sorry, that was an email. Unfortunately, the police made one major mistake. They thought we couldn't escape, but we could. I look around to see my only neighbor, Flame. He was my only friend, the only one I truly played with. He's a red fox with even redder markings, green eyes, and a yellow underbelly. He specializes in hunting. I specialize in gathering herbs. I brush the gray part of my coat off and try to make myself look nice. My mom thinks I should marry Flame and move off into a decent home and learn some good English before I exit this prison. Did I mention that it was broken down buildings and that we were living in the wreckage of a tacky museum? Anyway, Flame's wide-set eyes blinks at me. Are you ready for another hunting day? He asks. I shrug. Every day is the same, I tell him. Flame's mischievous grin comes into view. They think we're horrible and skinny, but there's something they can't take away from us. Our teeth. They're pure and white. They're pure and white, and in a straight line. I don't understand why our teeth are so perfect. Flame just flashes me one of his grins, as I told you before. The squirrels are going to be out today, he says, and apparently squirrel meat is much better than hair. He winks at me. Good luck, and stay clear of the tarantula holes. Tarantula holes aren't far from where we live. I've never stumbled across one. Never known someone who has. Tarantulas keep to themselves and we keep to ourselves. Simple. I start going down the straight, thin, narrow path until I can gather some red spotted mushrooms. By the end of the day, I'd gather pomegranate weeds, red spotted mushrooms, and green lime cabbage, my favorite. We're going to make something very good today. My favorite soup. Flame is standing at the edge of the cliff where we always meet. It is a stump of a falling tree. But luckily, it isn't just a stump. 2 logs split across from where the stump is. It's a clearing in the jungle. When I come to Flame, he says, "Mira, it's hot," and brushes his head. Sheer sweat. Mira is the same word. Just so you know, in the Animal Jam chat, Mira is the same word for God. So, sorry guys. So you can bet that is a little bit of a not very appropriate thing to say. I cough. Yes, it is. I brought you some food, he says, shoving a piece of beaver in front of me. Eat it for once, he demands. I push the beaver away. Flame, you know me. I'm a vegetarian, and I'm proud of it. Flame snorts. Well, yeah, but you need to eat something. You can't just live on greens your whole life. That's why you're so skinny. You're skinny as well, I tell him. He rolls his wide-set green eyes. Okay, Empress, you win. Just this once. Then he flashes another one of his grins. I also got you this. Wear this, he jokes. He puts a little raccoon head around my head. I shove it off. Thanks, Flame, but no thanks. When we get back to camp, I can see that the middle schoolers have already arrived, chewing gum and spitting it. One lands in my tail. Oh, I'm sorry, one of them says. Then another one jokes, Is this your dolly? They hold up a little dummy of me and dangle it in front of my face. I brace myself, knowing what's going to happen. Then they cut off the cotton throat of the dummy and throw it into the Zios. They all laugh, cheering. Empress and Flame! Empress and Flame! Empress and Flame! Empress and Flame! Each cheer getting more menacing. Because I'm very sensitive, I burst into tears. Tears. Flame comes and comforts me. You can leave now, you jerks! He confronts. Flame shouts and curses at them, but it doesn't change. They walk back to their houses smiling, their tails hung great high. Apparently, offending one of the retarded animals is a big reward. I sigh and walk back to my kitchen. Empress! Thank goodness you're here, my mother says. In one hand she holds a strange, mysterious pendant I've never seen. In the other, she holds an envelope. Read this! I cannot understand any of the words, but I know what some of them mean. Alpha and Academy. Academy is a certain school. Each word drawing me closer and closer and closer and closer and closer until I find that we look forward to seeing you at Alpha Academy. Stop. My heart stops. My body stops. To my horror, I realize that Flame is holding up the same invitation. So we're not retarded after all.